Incredible morning. Hello, everyone. Incredible morning. All right, so let's come over here and share this out. That's YouTube, not Facebook. Okay. Oh, I just realized I forgot something. Okay, there we go. All righty. There we go. Oh, yes, it popped up. Yay. Okay. So let's go. Mm. All right, let's go ahead and get this shared out. Okay, there we go. All shared out. And now let me head back over to tick, tick, tock, tock, tick, tick, tock, tock. Oh my God, I don't get it. What's wrong with I think it's because my hard drive is, but it's like that only my key light. I mean, my ring light does it. My key light doesn't do this. Whatever. But actually, no, it's not even connected to my computer. So I'm not even sure. Now that I think about it, this one isn't connected to my computer. So I have no idea why it keeps going in and out like this. It is driving me absolutely bonkers. And I even changed that light out. So I'm not sure what the heck is going on, why it keeps going in and out like that when I've actually changed it out. It used to be the ring light that's there. So I have no idea what's going on. Oh, whoa, I think I just made that worse. All right, let me grab my towel here. I definitely made that worse. Okay, there we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Incredible Wednesday. There we go. I was like, what the heck happened? What the heck happened over here? All right, rough morning. Nothing wants to work right. My ring light wants to act crazy. My key light is not enough. I probably should have just stuck with. I went and upgraded to these ring lights, and it's just not giving what it's supposed to give. Half the time, it never freaking works. I probably should have just stuck with my key lights and just left the other one on this side because these ring lights just aren't doing it for me. And I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. We're still going to give out this wonderful information and answer all of your questions. Not going to let that ruin my day. Good thing your girl cute in any light. All right. So again, hello everyone. I am Shakia, the professor of HS8365 LLC, the parent company of Soloholics Anonymous, Honestly Speaking brand, and 365 Creative Academy, where I help you unlock your creativity. So we're just going to, of course, do a Q&A, do a little talk and a little chat, a little talking about sublimation. Any questions that you guys may have in regards to that, or any of the crafty and creative things that many do for business or as a hobby that's monetized, and talk a little bit about business, printers, silhouette studio, designing and printing and sizing and all that good jazz. So I welcome your questions. I do these to help you guys. And I will say today, I am going to do a pro call, i.e. professor call, but it is for someone who has a Shopify and needs help with their Shopify, like, or just wanting an audit of their Shopify. So, if you're interested, definitely leave a comment. If you're, or actually should email me, because if you're on YouTube, I won't be able to respond back. Or if you're on TikTok, I won't be able to, well, I guess I won't be able to see it afterwards to message you. But if you're interested in a professor call and you must have a Shopify, please don't waste my time if you don't have one and saying, oh, I want to set one up. This is not about setting one up. This is for someone who has a Shopify site. Maybe you're having issues with shipping and your rates. Oh, Lord, I saw someone who people ordered and selected priority mail, and she changed all their stuff to first class. I'm giving them what they paid for. Well, baby, they paid for priority. Just because you have your shipping wrong on your website, you can't just change them folks' stuff to first class. And I was like, oh, wow, she actually doing this on the video, but okay. Anywho, but if you have a Shopify already and just want an audit, some help, some tips and things to go look at the back end of it, you can email me, theprofessor at hsink365.com, hsink365.com, theprofessor at hsink365.com, and let me, and put in the description, in the title, and I left the email, that you are wanting a professor call for, to go over your Shopify. Leave your phone number, and that way I can give you a call back, and make sure that you're available. Now, this is not a, okay, hey, I want to schedule this when I am available type deal. This is on my schedule when I have an opening and I am free. If you would like to have me go over your website, you can always go to our website and book a one-on-one session. But for this particular one, it must be during the daytime, because I have sessions already at night. I have my bachelor session tonight. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm going to end up scheduling it for sometime like this afternoon, if you are available. But you guys are more than welcome to drop your questions on this particular live. You guys know that now when it comes to like the live videos, most times, I did a couple like pre-planned only because they came from questions. Well, one of them came from a question and the other was because I was working on something. I thought it'd be like really cool for you guys to see that. But for the most part, my live videos are Q&A based. So if you guys don't ask any questions, then this is going to be a very boring video. So make sure that you guys go ahead and post those questions. All right. So let's go through. Incredible morning. Hey, just say hello, hello, hello. Incredible morning. Checking in from Virginia. We also have someone else from West Virginia. Incredible morning. Hello, 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 all. Incredible Wednesday, everyone. So, all right, let's see. I think I saw something that a question popped up already. All right, so let's see. I have a big question. I think I made a mistake. I updated my printer. Now my sublimation don't want to come out right when I try to do some work. Updating your printer does absolutely nothing to your colors, guys. That is the biggest urban myth. I have done the firmware on mine. I have done updates. Sometimes you have to do updates. We have to remember when our operating system does an update, a lot of times, like like whatever the printer was working off of before, it may only work with a certain like update for your operating system. Think about when, all these ones, they go from Windows 2000, and they had Vista and XP and all this, and now Windows 10, Windows 11. So if it was meant to work on one platform and they make significant changes, you're going to have to do updates in order for it to be compatible with the upgrade of your operating system. If it was the Mac system, when all those different iOSs, and some of them work on, what was it, Big Surf, Big Squirrel, Big Fish, somebody big. If the old update is not compatible with how that one is, you have to do an update. Updates are not meant to like completely kill it, destroy it. That's not always the case. Now, there are times where if something like significant happens, i.e. when ProWorldCraft sued Sure Cuts a Lot and Make the Cut. And then when you did the firmware, you could no longer, like that firmware made it to where you can no longer use those outside programs with your Cricut machine. Epson doesn't do that. They've already actually been through a lawsuit for that. And all they're going to do is tell you if you're using a third-party ink, then we won't cover it as far as like warranty. Which is why now a lot of times when you call, they'll ask you to take a picture, and they want to see, because you can tell the difference between Sublimation ink being in the lines and dye ink being in the lines. So they want to see that. And if they, if you get asked that question and they want to see it, then they most likely won't send you a replacement printer. And that's the only thing. This is why I encourage everyone to pay those $20 for the store, basically insurance. It's like what do they call it? Protection plan. The store protection plan and the Epson warranty are two different things. When it comes to these store plans, they don't care if you drop this printer from a 10-foot building and you bring it in. It is insurance for that. So get the store protection plans. It is not associated with the Epson warranty at all. It is not associated with the Epson warranty at all, but it has to be something else. If you could post pictures, because your comment came from Facebook, if you can post pictures to my Facebook group, honestly speaking, Sublimation group, and post pictures so that I can see as far as like what's happening. A lot of times what most people okay, there we go. People say, oh, well, there's ink in my tank. I see the ink. I just topped it off. And they will think that, okay, they're never thinking to do a nozzle check. A nozzle, not a printhead cleaning. Before you do a printhead cleaning, the first step is a nozzle check. A nozzle check tells you the current state of your printheads. So if you do that and you have broken lines or you have a missing section, then guess what? Your colors are going to be off because those colors are not outputting. I had that happen with a set with these. So if you watch, I did a video when I was doing these and I was like, why? And I was comparing the Eco Solvent to the 7720. And I was like, dang it, why do these colors look like this? Finally did a nozzle check, and sure enough, my yellow was not printing. So sometimes it's just your ink. It's not the update. It's the fact that your print head is not outputting a certain color. So do a nozzle check and make sure that all colors are firing off. If it's not, then you have to do corrective measures to fix that particular color. If all of them are there, then check your file, check your print settings, and things like that. Okay. Hello, Sharonda, how are you? All of my colors are on point. It's just not coming off the paper onto my project. Oh, if that's the case, then you don't have Sublimation ink. Did you put the ink that came in the print, like the ink that came in the box that said Epson? At any point, did you put that in your printer? And then if you did it, and maybe let's say you found out, either you have that in there, or let's say you found out you were not supposed to use that and you tried to drain it and then you put your Sublimation ink in. If you did that, you have killed your Sublimation ink. The dye ink will basically kill all the properties that make Sublimation ink, and it will not transfer. So if you're not getting any type of transfer on it, you don't have sublimation ink, or you have sublimation ink that has been mixed with dye ink. If it was mixed with pigment ink, you would get a big yellow stain. So based off of what you're saying, you don't have sublimation ink in there. Hello, Ina Smith. How are you? I put sublimation ink in there. You went straight to sublimation ink. And if you went straight to sublimation ink, and the next thing would be if it is a hard substrate, such as a mug or a tumbler, you most likely, well, actually, no, because tumblers will still transfer. Mugs, a lot of times, won't. Then that means you don't have a sublimation ready substrate. So yeah, if you put the Epson ink in there first, then you've killed your sublimation ink. You might as well return that printer because it's gonna. I mean, you're going to waste the ink. You wasted ink trying to drain it out. You can never truly get all of it out. Some people get really lucky. They'll drain out as much as they can, and then they'll be like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep printing and printing until it comes out. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that all the ink is out of the tank. The printers only pick up so much ink from the bottom of the tank. So if there was any amount, now after a while, because it can't pick it up, you're going to get a bunch of air in your lines. So your prints will come out clear because there's not enough ink flowing through the lines, and there's more air than ink. So it will seem as if you've drained it all out, but that's not properly draining it. If there is a significant amount of ink settled at the bottom of those reservoirs, you are now mixing your sub ink with your dye ink, and that's just not going to work. It doesn't matter if your paper is backwards. You can print on any paper. Sublimation ink, different sizes of the paper will affect the quality of how it transfers, but it will not stop it from transferring. Once you apply heat to a paper that has sublimation ink on it, it is going to sublimate. We have to remember that sublimation is a process. It's not the printing. It is a process. Sublimation is it. Once you heat it, it turns into a gas and it binds with polymers or synthetic fibers. It's a process. So there's no way to stop that process once the heat gets to it, no matter what type of paper you have it on. I've done several videos where I printed to cardstock, printed to copy paper. You can print to a brown paper bag and it will still transfer if heat is applied to the back of it. Hit the like button. Free info deserves a like. Thank you, Ms. Godfrey. You were doing keychains. Did you get them from, I really think, if you're saying yes, you put the ink in there, it's really the ink. It's not even the substrate. It's the ink. Because like I said, when it's even though it's not a sublimation substrate, other than like ceramic mugs, something transfers. Something. And the fact that nothing just lets me know that dye ink is mixed in there somehow. Hello over on TikTok. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop them. Thank you guys so very much for the likes. Dang it, I missed taking a screenshot at 365. So do you think my problem may be because my first printer broke? I sent it back and they sent me back one, but I don't think it was brand new. And but if it was when you got it, if the lines and stuff was clear, then that has nothing to do with it, because they're going to send you a refurbishment one where they've gone in and they've cleaned everything out. So when you look in that window and there was no ink in it, then it's a completely cleared out printer. It's not that. So on the new one, you never put the sublimation ink. You never. So for the new one that they sent you, because when they send you a new one, they're going to send you ink with it. You never put, well, first of all, what printer do you have? That's another question. But you never put the Epson dye ink in there. You went straight to sublimation. And then here's the other thing. The sublimation ink that you put in there, was it from the old one? Like, did you try and drain it all out? And did you put that back in the printer, or did you put fresh sublimation ink in the printer? It will still transfer even with the plastic overlay on it. And actually, because that is kind of like a polymer, like it will transfer, because that's like when you're pressing to like laminate or 651, you'll still see that color, especially because of the adhesive side. So you'll still see it. 4700, I put fresh sublimation ink in the printer. Then I'm sorry, I don't know. The update will not affect it. If it's printing out, the update will not affect it transferring to your substrate. So either check your substrate. The one thing that, as newbies, before we get into like all these other things, you don't have to necessarily want to do shirts, but you definitely need to get some polyester fabric. That is the best way to make sure that everything is set up and ready to go, is to press to some sort of polyester fabric. Even if you don't plan to press to fabrics, you don't plan to do shirts or coasters or mouse pads, it's the best and most, and like the least expensive way to test. Get some fabric or go to the Dollar Tree, get a satin pillowcase. It's $1.25, and you'll be able to test, and make sure that everything is working correctly. But outside of that, I'm not sure. Yeah, because unless you brought it from someone who had ink in it before, but if it came from Epson to where they replaced it, it should not have had ink in it, and that shouldn't be a problem. All right. After refilling my cartridges on the Workforce 7710 with Sublimation ink, the printer now has a maintenance error and doesn't recognize ink cartridge. Can I bypass this to start printing again? I haven't been able to get past this screen to print. Have you taken the cartridge out and put it back in? The for the most part, all of the third party or like refillable ink cartridges for these workforces, the 252s, are auto reset. So all you really have to do is take it out and put it back in, and it resets the cartridge. If you have taken it out and put it back in, it might be a communication error, because sometimes people will switch to another cartridge, and then when they put that one back in, it will work. Or you can use normally the chip resetter, if it's already saying X, it doesn't really help it any. The chips can go bad, guys. This is why I always say have a backup set of cartridges. You must have a backup set of cartridges, and you can get those cartridges at hsink365.com. We sell them pre-filled with our ink, and you have them empty. But if you're running a business, you can't afford to troubleshoot unnecessarily, like something isn't printing out or it's saying cartridge not recognized. You must have an additional set of cartridges. Like that's a given for workforce printers. Yeah, so if you haven't taken it out, that's how they work. The auto reset feature decline. The auto reset feature happens once you take it out. So you're going to have that happen again. To avoid that happening, like in the middle of a print, the best thing to do is get a chip resetter. And the moment that you see one color is significantly low, you're going to do an ink cartridge replacement, take all of those inks out and reset them. All right, let me see. Don't judge my mess that's behind me, TikTok, because y'all gonna see all of my mess. Okay, don't judge my mess that's behind me. Okay, you're gonna see all of the junk on my table. Don't judge me. Thank you for sharing over on TikTok. Okay, so the link is in the description of this video, shop.hsink365.com, or you can just click, if you tap the screen, it'll show the top part of it, and it's there, shop.hsink365.com. Or if somebody could write it in there for me so she can just click on it. But you want to get a chip resetter, you put it on here. But again, You're supposed to do this before you get the X and it says cartridge not recognized. But all you have to do is just take this, put it on there. It will turn to green, and that's it. It's reset. And that way you can reset them all to full, because if you don't and you just use the auto reset functionality of it, you can have 3 colors be low, and it's going to it'll stop because the cyan went out. Then you'll get a couple prints done. It'll stop because the yellow went out. You'll take that one out, reset it, and then the magenta goes out. So you can literally have it stop back to back to back if they're all low. But when you get the chip resetter, you're able to reset them all at the same time. It's only one chip resetter. It worked for the 252. No, it does not work for the 812, like the newer cartridges. It does not work for those. You have to buy replacement chips for those. Thank you. No questions over here on TikTok. All right. I have an Epson 15,000. I converted to a sublimation printer. I have my first set of ink in it. Do you sell ink for this? And can I switch to your ink? Also, can I mix inks? Yes, you definitely can. We do sell ink. There is no specific ink for each of these printers. These are all printers that are made for something else. So whenever you go, like let's say you go to someone's site and you happen to not see exactly 15,000. Ours says Eco Tanks. I don't have it where it says like a specific one because all of the ink is the same. There is no difference in the ink. They don't make ink specifically for the Eco Tank printer, specifically for workforce printers. All it is a change of top. Some people say that it's for a 7720 or workforce printer, and they sell it with a regular top or like with the little like pour nozzle. What's the purpose of that? I'm a smart business person. So keeping inventory of this is for this one, this is for that. Oh, because an Eco Tank uses 70 milliliters, I'm going to have just a 70. I'm going to have 100. I'm going to have 127. Don't even have time for that. That's too much inventory. I'm a smart business person. So all of our inks come in 140 milliliter bottles. They all have the Eco Tank top for Epson printers. So they're a universal one because it just goes straight. So they can go on any Eco Tank printer. But if you are someone that uses a workforce, don't even take the top off. Take your syringe and your needle, poke it through the top, poke a hole in there, kind of move it around, open it some, and you draw your ink right from the top. This also helps you because if you waste this, you're going to get a few drops of ink versus if this falls and then like all of it pours out. It's only going to be a few drops. So this is a very smart thing for anyone to have the Eco Tank bottles versus the regular ones. But most people won't buy the Eco Tank ones because most companies sell the Eco Tanks at 70. And it's like, well, shoot, I might as well get the 100. So they'll buy the other ones. But this is actually for, as crafters and creators, we're all clumsy. So why waste the majority of your ink? Go over to HS Ink, get you a 140 milliliter bottle and put this on there and use this. So with switching inks or mixing inks, for the most part, the inks are the same. You can, depending on the ink that you had before, you can potentially see a slight difference in color, a slight difference, which is why we recommend that you do not mix or switch inks or mix inks in the middle of a print job. Try to get all of that print job done first, or if you know that you only have a small amount of ink and you're about to do a major print job, put the other ink in there, run a print head cleaning, and maybe print a purge file just to make sure all the inks kind of like mix in and then start your print. But for the most part, they're all made the same way. There's slight color differences in different inks. I don't know which one you have. Please do not post it in the chat. We don't mention any other companies by name over here. But just note that there could potentially be a slight change. I even did a whole video where I mixed inks and no one could really tell the difference. Can I mix Eco Ink Black and Photo Ink Black together? What do you mean? Eco Ink Black and you mean for sublimation, just like the regular prints? Do you mean the photo black and then like the regular, like if you have that printer where it has like the dot, like the regular black ink and then the photo black ink? Not, I mean, you can, but one is dye, one is pigment. But for sublimation, there is no difference. So yes, you can. We don't sell a photo black sublimation ink because there is no such thing as a photo black sublimation ink. There's just black sublimation ink. So if that's the case, then yes, you can mix those because it's going to give you the exact same results. All right, let me see. Did I miss any questions over here? No, I did not. Is that Silhouette Studio free? Yes, it is. So you can go over to silhouetteamerica.com and you can download the software, like the base software for free. You can do a lot in the free software. The upgrades just make it to where there are additional features that are that are available to you. Like trace by color. I love my center of rotation. You have to have that. You have to have designer edition for it. I like business edition because I can open up a wide variety of files. I can save in different file formats. Having my ruler and the guidelines becomes helpful, and those are upgrades. Having my line shapes, very, very helpful. You'll see that if you take my Essentials to Silhouette Studio course, you're going to see how helpful those line shapes are and how many different things you can create with them. So little things like that, opening up PDFs is why, you would end up upgrading. If you want to open up SVGs, you have to pay for that upgrade, but it's a one-time fee. But the base program, free, and you can do a lot in the program. I need help with pricing. What video or class do I need to use? I don't necessarily have a class that's about like pricing like that, other than my creative business, and we go over profit by the numbers. I've never done that really when it comes to just a live free video because there's so many variables and some information y'all got to pay for it. Y'all want my secrets on how to price. But I will say this. One of the things I teach them is you got to know your area. You have to know who you're marketing to. You can have, and I've done a video and I've talked about this before, you can have the same tumbler. So let's say this tumbler right here, right? If I am marketing to middle to lower class clients who may not have disposable income, they're never going to see value in this. Or pretty much like, let's say a bling one, like someone that does rhinestones and all of that. Someone who is lower class, middle class, they're never going to see the value in it. But if your target audience are those who have disposable income, anywhere from, someone who's making, I'll just put it like, let's just say 70 to 80,000 or higher, you can take this one and sell it to them and they're going to see the value. You tell them, hey, this tumbler is $50, $100, and it's like customized, even though this isn't really custom, but like I said, if it's a custom one, they'll be willing to pay that. Whereas somebody else who's probably living paycheck to paycheck is going to look at you like, who say what? What say now? Not paying that. This is why there are different classes of cars. We were just looking at like going over how like the price point for our truck. So we have a Dodge Durango. Well, there is a basic edition. Then you have the model that like we have, and then it was upgraded from like, even though we were in a certain class, it was upgraded from that because we have the blackout edition because everything on our car is black. The rims, the car, like the outside, the inside, like everything is just the blackout edition. So we had to, it was a little bit more. But we didn't necessarily get the next one up, which I really wish we would have because I really wanted the little automatic, the back door comes down automatically. We don't have that, but we have the sensors. Then like 2 models up, it was like, you can upgrade and you can have sensors all the way around. But are you willing to pay that? Do you see the value in that? So you have to know first who you're marketing to. Someone who is a cashier at McDonald's, you could never market a Bentley to them. You can never market a Mercedes to them. Well, maybe because they probably live with their mom, they don't have a lot of bills. But, for the most part, that's not who Mercedes is necessarily marketing to. Bentleys aren't marketing to cashiers at McDonald's or Wendy's or a shoe store. They are marketing to a certain demographic. And if that's not what you're doing, then, and you don't know who you really need to market to, you're never going to know where to price it, because you have to go based off of pay for those people. Are they in an area? I mean, in this, are they in a certain demographic where they're just getting minimum wage? So if they're making $10 an hour, it is going to be very hard for them to fathom paying $30 for a tumbler. I got to work 3 hours to buy one of your tumblers. Those are things that you have to think about. And then you have to think about, are you willing to make these items and make less money if the majority of your audience are those who don't have a lot of disposable income and they're looking for things at a better deal? Are you willing to be the provider to them? Somebody has to provide it to them if it's within reason. Are you willing to be that person? I am someone, look here. Half of y'all technically should not be able to afford me. I'm just that great. I'm dope in this game. I'm great at what I do. And I choose to keep my classes more affordable because I know that the majority of those who follow are probably in the beginner state. And then to invest hundreds and hundreds of dollars in something that you may not even like doing or you just can't grasp it is a lot. So I choose to price the way I price because of the audience that I want to attract. I can easily go after those who are probably established. I can help you grow and scale. Hey, pay me $5,000, pay me $10,000 to help you grow your business. But that's not what I'm in the business for. So I know my demographic and I price accordingly. Silhouette Studio is okay, I'll show you. Hold on. So this is Silhouette Studio. So it allows you to create designs. Oh wait, it didn't switch over for you guys. So it allows you to create designs here. I'll just go through, like, I just end up doing these. I had to convert the blanket design that I did into one for a tumbler. So I was just working on that. Or if you design in other programs, but you need a program to actually print from, you can print from it as well. And there's no limitations in the size that you can print from Silhouette. All right, let's see. Will this make the photos clear as Design Space doesn't? So it will not necessarily make your photos clear. If you were bringing in something that was simply not clear to begin with, no program is going to make it print clear. Anything that I bring, as long as it's within the size restrictions of Cricut Design Space, if I can print it from Silhouette, it's going to print the exact same way. It's probably the image itself that you have brought into Cricut Design Space, but just the program itself doesn't affect how it prints. I agree with you. I live in the 1% wealthiest city in Texas. Where you advertise is important. Exactly. Bless you. Am I able to make calendars on there? Of course. I create my calendars for my classes and my students and stuff in Silhouette Studio. So you definitely can create calendars, even if you're like, mine are like the basic ones because it's for my classes. But if you wanted to make it where, let's say you're putting a design at the top and then you have like the calendar part at the bottom, for planners and stuff like that, you definitely can. All right, so over here, looking to purchase two printers, Workforce 2850 and the 7310, one for pigment, one for sublimation. Can the 2850 be used for sublimation? Can you speak on the replacement chips for these printers? I have no, I think the 2850 uses like a 202 or something like that. We do not sell those. Any Epson printer can be used for sublimation. You just have to have the right cartridges and the right chips. So let me see. Epson Workforce 2850 ink. Oh, 212. So it uses the 212. If I'm not mistaken, those are single use chips, if you can even find them. Most companies, because that's not a mainstream, it's not like a one that people really go after. Most vendors are not going to carry the chips for those. At least not vendors stateside. You can check Alibaba and be able to order from over there, but you're going to pay an arm and a leg for shipping every single time. So you may want to just order like a bunch of them and have them send it to you. But most likely they're going to be single use chips. And so what you do to change out the chips, they're going to come on a clip, like they're going to, well, dang it, there we go. They're going to come on a clip like this. You'll take it off and you'll literally slide it back on. Same thing for, now we do sell the ones with the 7310. That's the 812. So we sell those cartridges and chips. And same thing, it'll come on a clip. You slide the clip off. You slide the clip on. And that's it. And the chip is on there. Only thing you can do with Pix to get is to get an app to improve quality, but it's more time investment. Even with that, when people say get a program to improve the quality, it doesn't really change it. So what happens, like if you ever notice, like I think it's called, is it Remy or something like that? Like if you have like an old picture. So if you really, really pay attention to those, a lot of the times the other elements around it really aren't that great. They'll go in and it really fixes faces, like and facial features, but it doesn't really affect a lot of the other image. And if you look at like the edge of the face, you can see lines of demarcation on it. There's no way other than to recreate it. There's nothing that's going to clear up pixels. If a image is blurry, it is because of the way that it was saved, the number of pixels in the original setup. There's no way to fix pixels, people. I don't care what anyone tells you. There is no way to fix pixels. Now, if someone has like Photoshop, they can go in and do things like on photos, they'll smooth it out and they'll use like the blemish or like the blur, and they'll do like different effects. But then you got to know, you have to have Photoshop skills. But if it's just like a picture of like Mickey or something like that, it's just not going to fix it. Like it's just not. There's no app, but there's no program to fix that. What is my go-to sub printer? I am very, very lucky in the fact that I got into sublimation when there were still 7710s and 7720s in the workforce printers. So I have that particular printer and I have two on standby because these new ones, well, everyone's now into like the Eco Tank. I'm not a fan of Eco Tank. They back up, they clog too much, they get air clogs way too much for me. And the colors, because they use dye ink, are not up to par for my liking. Some people, they're okay with it. But when you know colors, it's not like the workforces give you like the exact colors. Hell, an Epson F570 doesn't give you like the exact, the right colors because of your there's so many different factors. Your monitor, are you going to calibrate your monitor to your printer? I mean, anyone can really get theirs to match if they go through the calibration process. But then you're going to spend at the very least $300 for the system to calibrate your monitor to your printer and to your paper. So unless you have that investment and you have that knowledge, you're never going to get like 100% like accurate colors on what you see on your screen. Some screens are really quality screens. Some screens are crappy screens. So the way that it looks is going to be different than how it prints. Sometimes it's not the screen. I have an astigmatism. So how I see stuff on my screen and then how it prints out, I'm always seeing a bit of a difference. So if your vision is not quite great, somebody else may see it one way, you see it a different way, and then when it prints out, you both see it a different way. So it's really kind of a crapshoot for that. As far as like the newer printers, if I had to pick out of any of them, I would say either make the investment for a 16600, 16650, which are $1,000, but the colors on them are better and they're meant to be workhorses, so they're not going to get ear clogs as much, or get a workforce. I am definitely team workforce. If you don't mind the cost of the cartridges and going through their print system, Sawgrass is also great, but I am one where I simply prefer. I'm not saying anything about Sawgrass, that it's a bad printer. It's not even the cost. Even if those cartridges were reasonable, I personally prefer the look of water-based sublimation ink over the gel-based. A actual, like, Epson sells sublimation printers, and they're still water-based inks. I still prefer that over gel-based any day. I use HS ink, pigment ink in my 16650, and it's awesome. Can I use it in the 8550 being used ink? Can you use it? Yes. Will your colors be off? Significantly. It's no different if you watch my video where I put pigment ink in my 2720 and the colors are off, you're going to experience the same thing. That is, pigment ink is not a better ink or produces better colors. It simply is water resistant. So with the dye ones, there are higher color gamuts with the dye inks compared to pigment inks. This is getting very technical, but this is why, like, you guys come to me for the answers, because I learn all the technical stuff. I study the technical. You guys can know all of this information as well, but you got to be willing to study and write the information down. When I'm live, and yes, this might be a long live, I've been on for 47 minutes. Go back, write notes to things. That's how you guys are going to get to a point where you become just as knowledgeable. This information wasn't just dropped in my brain. Like, I studied all of these different things. So you can take the chance and put them in there, but it's meant to work with the dye inks. So you're going to get the best colors when you stick with the dye inks. And she's like, thank you. I appreciate your prices. You're very welcome. She's like, yes, you basically give away your classes. Thank you guys for saying that. Do I still use HTV? Heck yeah, I actually prefer HTV. So little update, right? Not sure if you guys watched when I did the comparison of Eco Solvent print, HTV print, and sublimation. So I was trying to explain it to my client, and she was like, well, just so you know, you're basically talking Spanish to me, because I was trying to explain it to her over the phone. Well, once she came and she got her shirts, the HTV one, she was like, yeah, that's the one I like. I love this look. So not everybody just wants quick. We do things out of convenience for ourselves. Not that it's the best thing for our clients, because she had all three. She had a sublimation shirt, she had an Eco Solvent print shirt, and she had HTV. Her preference was the way the HTV one looked. So sometimes if you win and you're like, oh, wow, everyone's doing sublimation, everyone's doing Eco Solvent prints, and you go and change it and you're wondering why you're not getting any sales, because your clients really don't prefer that. They want the HTV look, and you just have to price accordingly. If it's something where it's now a bulk order, you don't necessarily go to Eco Solvent printing or DTF printing or sublimation printing. You may have to go to screen printing. You have to know the different methods that work for different things. That's why you guys should join my t-shirt training that's coming up, where we're going to talk about all the different ways to make shirts, and you'll know which ones you need for which job. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, there's really not much to talk about. Like, when it comes to HTV, the reason why people don't talk about it as much, like I'm not actively doing shirts. Whenever I have something I do HTV, I've done videos on it. I've done layered videos and stuff like that. My business right now is Sublimation ink. I don't have any plans to sell HTV. Like, I mean, it's not as easy as people think to just go and just get these products. When you have a business, and especially once you have an audience, you don't want to go to where, okay, I'm bringing in little by little. Then it's like, oh my gosh, they always sold out. I got a business. I can't be waiting on them. And then they start to move on. It's not as easy as people think to get all of these products in and just, even if you want to try something out, oh my God, you missed it. You sold out again. So it becomes a hassle. And we, at this point, don't have plans to sell HTV. Only thing that I prefer Caesar, ordering me some CAD cut, but I prefer that. Well, I can never become a distributor for Caesar because I still make shirts, and that's one of their stipulations. You can't still be in the business of making money off of like selling custom shirts. So I could never like officially sell Caesar easily. I'm going to constantly push the products that I have. So I'm going to talk about pigment ink and just doing Jet Pro 3G or using sublimation. But HTV is something that's not going anywhere. It provides better, like the look of it to me is just a lot better. Glitter, you can't get that feel when you're just printing something out. The foil and like the metallic looks, you can't get that when you just print it out. Even I have the silver ink in my rolling, and it still is not the same as that gold. This and this don't have the same feel. This is the metallic ink, but it still doesn't have the same look and feel as this does. So there's still a need for it. I'm very much so team HTV, but HTV, I do them for what they are intended for, short runs. What I'm never about to do is I'm not about to do 100 shirts in HTV. That's just not gonna happen, Cap. I do as well, depending on what my customer wants. Does the chip resetter work on the chip resetter works on it doesn't work on the new ones. For most 9-pin chips, it does, like a lot of the expressions. But if a company says it's a single-use chip resetters only work on chips that are actually auto reset. If they say it's a single-use chip, it will not work on it because it is made to only work one time. So any auto reset chips, the chip resetter will work on. The 812s are single-use chips. No wonder they're selling the workforce. Nope, that's not why. That has not. Remember, Epson doesn't make these for sublimation. That's how much that printer costs because Epson is banking on you buying their ink. So it has nothing to do with the sublimation part of it because they're not intended to be sublimation printers. Okay, yeah, I knew it was something like that. I use Rimini and it gave the woman a beard, and I noticed after I pressed the shirt. Oh damn. How low? It gave her a beard. I just had to explain pixels to someone this week about pixels because they wanted a photo subbed and it wasn't a good picture and I wouldn't do it. Exactly. Have I used the sub flock HTV? No. I'm taking the t-shirt challenge because I keep talking about it. I like the combination of sublimation and HTV on some projects. All right. No questions over here on TikTok. There's quite a few of you guys watching. Feel free to drop your questions. And Ina, if you're still on here, I actually have, you can always add to it, but I do have a wait, did I drop it in there? Ooh, I got to make sure I put it in there. But I do have a calendar file. And then all you have to do is just add your information to the top. Hold on. Let me find this file. HSing Digital calendar template. calendar template, and it has all of the date. Like it's set up so where like if the first starts on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like it has all of that on there. And then you just add to the top. So let me share my screen. It should be in my vault. If it's not, I'll add it. And I actually need to go back in and add a lot of these to the website too. Let's switch it over like this and enhance flip camera. So, like I said, it has it where the first starts on a Sunday, and then this set it starts on a Monday, Tuesday. So you don't even have to work. Wait, where you go? So you don't even have to worry about that. And then depending on how you want it to be designed. So let's say I take this one, and you don't have to use this base. You can use any of them. So let's say you do that, and I'm going to just extend this, and let's just bring over from here. So I'm just going to go copy, paste. Uh-oh, undo. Oh, come on. I'm going to disassemble it. Okay, there it goes. So I can put that in there like that. And if you want the backs of these to be white instead of the color of um, the background, it's best just to go ahead and make a box and fill that in with white and select everything else that needs to go to the back and send it to the back. And now you have the white behind it. And then we can ungroup this, and you can type in your own, you can type in your own with your own fonts for the days of the week. And then the outline, I'm going to change that to brown, or I can change it to the green. I can change all of these elements. So yes, you definitely can make your own calendars. And my file makes it really, really, really easy. And I think I want to change that to like, that's too dark. I actually like that color because it's like the color of the ruler. Or I can make it like a really light grayish, or even like let the other color come through. So you can customize it 1,000 different ways. It is $80. $80. Let me make sure that's in there. It should be though. It should be under miscellaneous. If not, I'll make sure that I add it. Access to my vault of templates, which I need to add. I have a bunch of stuff that needs to be added to this miscellaneous, kid friendly, memorials, 3D, foam board, backdrop templates, window card, calendar templates. Yep, the calendar templates are there. Do you have a video showing how to use the various layers on your mug template? On which mug template? Like the one that was mom, or just the plain out mug template? Which it actually I have done a video, and it even says it on there. If it's at the bottom, it says if it has a handle, no, like if you're using a traditional mug press, like that's all that part is based off of what type of heating source are you using. Are you using just a regular mug press? If you are, then you know you can't go too close to the handle or it's not going to transfer. So that's what that first one is. Then the next one says if you're using a mug press that gets closer to the handle, or if you're using a convection oven. And then the last one is if you're going to do a full wrap. So it says it on there. Um, the next one is going to, well, it's supposed to be the t-shirt one, but I've gotten several requests for, I mean, I've done my sublimation boot camp. Some people have asked for one for sublimation, and then some have asked for pricing, but I'm like, I don't know. But as far as designing, I have not decided on the next one yet, because it takes a lot to prepare the stuff for like design challenges. So I have not prepped that one yet. All right, so let's turn this one around. Were you in the first, like, were you in the SVG or the event challenge? Let's see. File, open, mug. So see, it says full wrap, ovens only, and that it shows you like the color. Well, wait, why is it changed to yellow? Actually, I don't know why on mine. I think I may have changed it, but it's normally like it should actually show up as this darker gray color. And then the next one, it says close handle to handle, only in ovens, works best with faded or distressed ends. And then the next one, it says close to handle in ovens or special mug presses, works best with faded distress ends, standard in ovens or any mug press. So that's all that this is telling you, is where to design at based off of what method you're going to use. All of my classes are always available. It's no longer live, but you can always purchase it for the playbacks. You'll get more value out of the playbacks. Most people now who are posting their results are watching the playbacks, and then they're showing, hey, this is what I did. So the playbacks are just as great as being in the lives. They're for all the layers. So no matter what, the center is the center. It's designed to where the center is the center, and all the colors match here. So this would be the center of just the white. Well, I guess because I couldn't do it in white. So this is the center of that one. If you come over just a little bit here, it's the center for this one. Then the lighter color. So it tells you like right here, the lines line up. So whatever line was there, that's the line for that center. So let's say if you're doing a full wrap mug, you don't even need these. You can delete those all together. And you can, they're all, oh, at least I thought they were grouped together. You can delete all of these, and you can design right within here. I'm going to make it white so you can see. So now you'll just design in here. If you're doing a full wrap, you don't need the rest of it. If you're doing just in the middle, then you delete the rest of them. You don't need those. But each of the lines up with the section. See? Each line lines up with the section that it goes with. Where does a beginner start for one of your programs? Essentials to Silhouette Studio. That's going to be the best place to start. Essentials to Silhouette Studio. For me, if you're talking about designing, you're going to learn how the program works, how it breaks down, all the different tools, how modify works, subtract works, so that you can get used to designing. This is going to be the base for any and everyone. This is where you start. Now, from there, what are some specialty things you want to learn? Like, now that you know these tools or familiar with these tools, what's the next thing? Okay, well, I want to know how to put together effective memorial designs. So it's not like how I teach. I help you think outside of the norm. So I'm giving you different tips and different ways to create designs and giving you a different way of thinking than just like the regular basic stuff. And then how to properly put, like on that one, I think we did do some wings, how to properly put wings on. Okay, well, let's say if you're someone and you're wanting to know how, okay, I like this file, but I can't find it with the dolphins. I only see one with the eagles on it. Well, how do I modify this file? Or this file is kind of blurry. How do I make it a high resolution image? So this one, it's called the switch up because we went from this particular image to being able to change all the elements, even the hair, made it where it was a single ponytail, how to change the lips, the eyes on it. We didn't really get into how to do this on it, but you can still figure it out because it's just patches and like lighter colors, and you subtract it and make that look. Hold on one second. Even, can you bring me my charger, the charger and my desk thingy? Like it's on where the massage chair thing is. Because I took it out of here. So the thing that clips on the side of my desk and my charger, because my phone's about to go dead. Thank you. Will I be able to add a photo collage to the calendar? You can add whatever you want to it because you are the designer. So if you want there to be more space at the top, you can extend it or you can make the calendar part smaller. Now that's the only thing. Like if you wanted these to be super small, that would be the only thing. But you can always, like I said, select it and shrink it down. Oh, wait, I didn't grab the outline. I need my actual charger from the bed. This one don't work. That's why I asked for my actual charger. This is the one that's shorted out. Hold on. I'm trying to plug up my phone before it goes dead on you guys on TikTok. All right, so I got to get down and plug this sucker up. Ooh. Thank you kindly. You brought me just this part and not the dang on cube. I don't know if this is the cube that don't work or if it's the plug. I asked you to bring me my whole charger, sir. All right, let's see. Hopefully this turns on. Okay, it does. I run a party rental company and want to start designing custom party supplies. Oh, you just missed our, you can still purchase the playback. So we did, and I'll bring over all of this stuff. Hold on. I just did a 7-day challenge for designing chip bags and like wrap candy, water bottles, Capri Suns, like all that stuff. Cake toppers. Hold on, let me grab all this stuff from over here. Whoa. And let me go over here and grab. Okay. All right, so now that I'm back over here, this one actually had there's a version of this that has a photo collage to it. This is actually my file for, this is going to be my file for this week. It's for a panel blanket, but I'm also going to it's also available in like what's this thing called? A tumbler. But let's say, all right, where's the pictures? Oh, no, I'm just going to take this one. Now you can either create your own version of a collage. Just for the sake of this one, I'm just going to stretch this one out, which I mean, most pictures probably won't fit like that, but you can either create your own that's going to fit to that space, or if you are just wanting to do just pictures, you can make a box and put an offset on it. Make that offset whatever color you want it to be. And then you're going to fill in your picture here, which I'm just going to ungroup and I'm missing a picture. Actually, I'll just take this one as is. Rotate it. There's one more picture. Wherefore art thou picture right there. You've added a collage. A collage is just a collection of pictures. There's no right or wrong way. It can be just blocks. It can be just boxes. It can be circles. It can be rotated. It can be uniformed. There is no one set way. And that's a lot of what my classes are. I want to kind of break your thinking from thinking that, okay, I want to learn this because this is how I see everyone else do it. There has to be one set way to do it. No, you are the designer. You just have to unlock your creativity. And that's what my classes really, really are about. All right. So let me flip this around real quick. So we just wrapped up the 7-day. And so we went through, like, this could easily be a shaker topper as well, but it's just a regular one. So we went through like just creating different like a layered topper. We went through the chip bag. So this is matte paper. This is glossy paper. So I showed like, different design tips. I also have a template that makes it really easy because it's going to have it where you can either have a band at the top and it's already broken up into 3 sections for you for the front and then the 2 sides for the back, or there's like, it's just one big one. But we did these and how to just, trace and detach and put the elements in there. Gave a lot of different tips about layout. And then here is this one. Same image, same background, same rainbow, the number 2, but it's still different. So it's cohesive yet different. And then on the back, it just had, so the little girl that's here and here, they're on the, oh no, it's just a dog. Okay. So they're on the back. The musical notes that's on the front of this one, which you guys can't see. I'm sorry, she asked a question over there. I'll come over here in a minute. Is on the back of this. And then once again. So then this one, I didn't bother to put the watermelon on the back. I made it where it's the entire skyline. But then for the water bottle, I end up putting the watermelon part on the back. It's still the same image. The chip bag had them, but this did not, but it's on the water bottle. Different yet cohesive. This is what I teach, how to do different but cohesive. But the name is the same on all of them because who wants to go and recreate that every single time? So we did that one. And then I don't know what happened to the other M&M one, but this is the one I just kind of put on top. So different yet cohesive. So where it has the M&M, it has the two, but with the Cocomelon, it just has the name, no picture. But I also show ways where you can put a picture on it. And then the thank you for coming or thank you for coming is the same one that's on the back of this, same one that's on the back of this. So you can still sign up for that class and you'll just get access to all of the playbacks and the last day where we put all of it together. So yeah, for you guys over here, I know the lighting in here is horrid right now. It looks so much better on TikTok. This is what we did in the 7-day challenge that just wrapped up. And you guys probably, if you're on my Facebook, you saw the pictures of these. And then the 3D topper. Well, not 3D, like dimensional topper. So yeah, I teach a wide variety of things. Mainly from a design standpoint, but of course I did the last day, I showed them how to put all this together in different details and techniques and things to make things faster, or if you're just starting out, like things that you can use because I couldn't find my paper crimper. So the lines on this are not from a paper crimper. I made this with my ScorePal, my scoreboard, because I couldn't find my paper crimper. All right. It's a one-time fee. It's a one-time fee. I was in both challenges. I loved it. I'm going to show some results once don't worry. Why do you guys worry about perfecting it? I want to see the process. If you document your process, you will see your improvement. Stop waiting for things to be perfect, y'all. You might be waiting forever if you don't have time. Just post your progress. There's no right or wrong to it. How are you going to learn if you don't post it? And like some people post it or they'll send it to me and then I'll send back some feedback and say, okay, hey, for this part, you probably missed this step, da, 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 da. So there's no such thing as being for it to be perfect. In my groups, there is no judgment like whatsoever. I don't allow it. So you are free to confidently post and know that you're going to get constructive feedback. I don't tolerate people kind of talking down to folk at all in my groups. So just post it. Is the memorial designing silhouette that you just showed on screen new? That was this year. The other one that I did was when I did the Sublimation boot camp a year ago, 2 years ago. That one is more recent. That one is probably like in February. I think I did that one. I had no idea the classes were at the same time. I wanted to sign up for that class too. I did the sublimation, did the SVG class and thought they were a week apart. Oh no, yeah, they ran. One was in the morning, one was in the evening. I'm always do it that way. There's going to be two running at the same time. Whenever I do one, there's going to be two running at the same time. That will be me waiting for it to be perfect, but now I don't care. I just post it. Yes, post it. Um, so a lot of people were like, I don't know how to design for this. I don't know how to create my own templates for certain things. So it's more of a template. It's not necessarily a design. But and Ms. Johnson, I saw your question yesterday. It will be in there, but after today. So it won't go up, it won't go into the vault until after the free file is done. But because that is a template. The other ones, when it's just a design, that does not go in there. But anything that's a template will go into the vault. Like if it's a free file, it'll go in there. So that will be in there. The photo collage will be in there, but I have actually quite a few photo collages that I have to do and set up. The issue is always I'm always trying to at least make it an SVG format. I can't always do it for Photoshop, but I at least want to be able to like have it set up and save it for SVG and try and do all these different things. So although I can save it as an SVG in Silhouette Studio, it doesn't come over correctly for programs like Cricut. So I always have to take it into Illustrator just to save it as an SVG again, and then have to compress the files and then upload it, and all these other things have to take it's a process to get these things in there. But the photo collages will be in there after next week. I'm actually going to drop a whole bunch of photo collages in there next week, but the composition one will be in there as of midnight. No, this is a general question Q&A. But yeah, so a lot of people were asking like the things that I create, like they wanted to be able to have the template. They didn't know how to create them. So it's something that I'm always adding to. So it's just a collection of templates that I have created over the years. And so I put them in there to where it just makes it easier for you guys to just get straight to designing. Hello, welcome to the live. Can you give us a hint on the next classes coming up for August? Well, I didn't originally it was supposed to be my t-shirt one and talking about business because it's going to kind of run together. Again, I hadn't figured out the next design one because those are like the major ones that people really wanted was like SVG stuff. I'm not sure if I said August or September. There were some people who wanted to attend the SVG one live, but they wanted an evening class. So it's basically going to be pretty much the same information, but I do plan to do one in the evening. I was trying to get them done before school started because I'm going to have to take a slight break so I can get acclimated with like my son and being in middle school now once school starts on August 16th. So I was really pacing myself when it came to August because my son goes back to school in the middle of the month. And he also now has basketball, and sometimes we don't know the schedule until at the very last minute, like last week. And this is his first year, like first summer playing basketball. And I want to make sure I was at the game. So it's kind of an inconvenience not say it's an inconvenience, like nothing my child does is an inconvenience, but for the class that I was going to try and do, like I end up not being able to really do Saturdays. So I'm trying to readjust it because I want it to be 7 days, but now I have to maybe go from like a Saturday to a Sunday, but then it's like taking up 2 of my weekends. So it's just a bit much. Basketball for them is done in 2 weeks. So my schedule will be a little bit, more stable at that point. But I've been taking suggestions on what it is that people want to learn. I know someone said on small sublimation items, but I'm not even sure what to do for that because you just press it to small stuff. I guess they just want information on, like, to me, that's more of a how can I make money off of small sublimation items? And that's not really design. So I wasn't sure how to really approach that one because you guys have seen me press a bunch of small items before. So I wasn't sure what she was expecting or what she wanted when it came to that, other than ideas. I'm always asking you guys, like, what is it that you guys want to learn? But if you don't speak up, it's harder to kind of give you guys the education that you need. Following up to your Shopify recording, do you have suggestions for apps to add on? I'm looking for pre-ordered ones. What do you mean? A pre? Shopify now has their own pre-order. They have done a lot of updates now. So Shopify has their own app for pre-orders and subscriptions now. So yes, I am on YouTube also and Facebook. I'm actually streaming to both of those over here. I'm having issues with pressing some FM expression transfers. Oh, yes, I saw that question. I saw that you said you were using a pressing pillow. Maybe let it cool a little bit and then, like, not to where it's completely cold, but wait for it to cool a little bit and then try and peel it off. Yes, I did see that one this morning. I didn't have a chance to respond to it, but if you're using a pressing pillow, only thing that normally like that's caused by is just not even pressure or not even heat. Maybe press it a little bit longer. If you're pressing it right at 7 seconds, maybe press it a little bit longer, just in case there is some fluctuation in your heat or if you have cold spots. If that crack is happening in the exact same spot every time, try rotating your design and seeing if it's still happening in that same position, but like now it's a different part of your transfer. That might mean you have a cold spot. And that's one reason why I couldn't really answer. Like, how the heck I'm going to say all of this in typing it out? So I'm glad you are on this like live Q&A, but you may have cold spots on your heat press. That's where having a temp gun helps to see if it's even all the way around. The items in the vault, are they set up to bring into design space? I have some that are SVGs. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to use them because remember, design space has limitations. A lot of the stuff is bigger than what you can print. Now, there is one in there to help you, like if you want to split things up for design space, there's that one in there. But for the most part, a lot of them are SVGs, but I teach silhouette. So my first thing is always going to be to provide you a silhouette template, and anything else that comes after that is just a bonus. When you start doing live in-person classes, are you still able to do online classes as well? What do you mean? Meaning, am I going to still do the online one, or meaning for someone, can you take both? Like if you're in South Florida, can you take both? When making a calendar, do you put them together? I don't make calendars. I do digital calendars. I don't print out calendars. That's a waste of time for me. I have a planner. So for me, I don't print out calendars at all. I don't know yet. With small sublimation, they may mean like using a small. No, I know I'm team small. So I'm always talking about there's money to be made. You don't have to make shirts. You don't have to do all over shirts. You don't have to do these large blankets. Like there's money to be made in doing keychains and can coolers, tumblers, mugs, plaques, door hangers, slates, like all those smaller items that you can do on like a smaller heat press. You don't have to get these big ones. You have to learn to work within your means. So if you just have a 12x9 heat press, well, what are some substrates that you can make with just a 12x9 heat press and still make money? I'm definitely team small. It's just easier inventory wise to store it. It's easier to make them. You get more bang for your buck because you can put multiple items on a sheet of paper. So I'm definitely team small. I don't really use Easy Subly. How many times can I show it? Like, I don't get what, that's what, that is one of my struggles is I'm not a content creator like that. I'm not an influencer. People who kind of do those videos and they're just constantly doing it, it's probably because like, either they're just doing orders or they're just making content just to make it. My videos are full detail videos. So whatever video that I have about sublimating to Easy Subly or glitter vinyl, it is what it is. No one's giving me Easy Subly like that. because I don't have sponsors. I don't like Easy Subly. I don't really see the purpose of it because I like printable transfers. Easy Subly to me is really no different. And then it doesn't even really pick up on the masking. So I might as well stick with Jet Pro 3G. So I've said that several times. So I won't be doing a lot of them in there because I don't buy it. It's kind of pricey for no reason. And it doesn't give you any better results than me printing on my regular printer for Jet Pro 3G. Or if I really want to sublimate something like, I'll sublimate glitter HTV, or I'll sublimate glow in the dark HTV. Easy Subly, to me, it's not worth the cost, but that's my personal opinion. So I'm not going to do a lot of videos on it because then that means I have to go buy it. For what reason? I'm not doing orders like that. And if I had to do an order, Easy Subly would not be my go-to. So things like that, I can't just give you guys videos on it. I normally do demo videos for something that I'm actually actively working on. But I'm done buying stuff because I know some of you guys are going to say, oh, I share. I appreciate it, but not enough of you guys share for me to go and just keep buying stuff just to show it. There's a lot of content creators that do that, or they have sponsors that sending them stuff. I'm too honest for sponsors to send me anything. I know myself, I have a larger format up to 13-inch printer with longer lengths and a 16 by 24-inch heat press, but I'm intimidated with trying to press larger or like all over shirts or like all over or larger than 13-inch images and trying to split and cut. It's a waste of time. I mean, people do it because they feel like they have to be able to get money. Oh, well, I want to be able to do all over shirts just like this person. Well, I am a firm believer in that, especially for all over shirts. Leave it to those who got a big press or like at least a big printer, like, or outsource it out. Have that thing printed out on one big print, and then you can press it in sections. Now, when I do like the blanket that I'm about to do, that one I don't mind. Not that I don't mind. I really don't like doing it because you have to wait for that sucker to print out. Then you got to tape it together, and it's a pain in the butt. It's not something that I do often. I would rather have it printed out. My issue is I have control issues also. And I had a shirt where I was like somebody else, I tried to outsource it out. And it wasn't, any fault of hers because her printer started acting crazy. See, I can't determine what's going to happen. I can't predict what's going to happen with somebody else's equipment, right? So her printer ended up going out. So she tried to, go to someone else and have them print it. Well, they obviously didn't care about their quality because they had a bunch of banning lines, and she wholeheartedly apologized because her printer went out. She tried to outsource it to somebody else. And so that made me like, see, this is why I need Blow's Prints to be closer to Miami, like to the northern part of Miami, because she way down south. Because see, I see her quality and I know it's going to be on point every single time. I need to find me a trusted, and I know that's going to come out right, like printer for sublimation, like bigger prints, because I can just send it and I don't have a problem. Like my blankets, I don't even press it. This is a 16 by 24-inch heat press. I don't press my blankets with this because it's trying to maneuver it around. I'd rather it be flat. So those I don't mind because I lay it flat and I just get there and I just press it in sections with my 12 by 10 easy press. And, it does take up more time, but it is what it is. Because it takes up more time, I also don't charge more because I don't have the proper equipment. It's something that technically you're supposed to be able to print one time and press one time. And people base their prices off of that. A lot of times when you're piecing stuff together and you're doing these larger than what you're capable of, you feel like, dang it, I'm not making enough money. I'm doing way too much work for the amount of money they want to pay. Well, that's on you. You're doing something that your equipment is not intended for. So you have to be willing to basically take a hit on that because there are more effective ways, and that's why they can charge that. So I don't bother to charge more. It's just, I don't have the proper equipment. I took on this job, so I take the hit of doing a lot of work for the same amount of money that someone who would just press it one time and be one and done would, how much they would get paid for it. But I'm not big on the larger prints. I don't do them often. I don't advertise them. I don't market them. Whenever I'm doing that, it's normally for family or like a special occasion for a friend, and they will ask. But I personally do not like just do them on a regular. They take up too much of my time, and time is money. Nobody got time for that. If you're still going to teach online classes as well, or no, I'm going to still teach online. Yeah, because I mean that'll probably be. I mean, yeah, so it'll just be a mixture of both. I always take things into Silhouette, fix them myself, take to Design Space to cut. Love the Silhouette program. With smaller items, you can bundle like for back to school, notebooks, pencil cases, book bags, lunch bags, masks, and cups. Yes, exactly. I definitely don't. I don't really want to do all over shirts, but maybe like blankets and things like that, larger towels or blankets, or banners. I won't do a banner. That's why one of the reasons why I got a Roland is to do slightly bigger ones, or I'm going to outsource that. Banners is one that I definitely won't, because banners normally are kind of like a one-time, especially like if it's really huge, I'm just going to outsource that out. It's okay to outsource. For me, and how I operate in my business as far as customs, you're paying more so for my design. You're paying more so for the custom part of it. I price that way. I price based off of the design. I price based off of the process to print it or get like the final part done. So I'm not really losing. If I'm not doing the work to print it out or put grommets and like all that stuff on it, I'm not losing out. I'll probably put, if I can make $5 off of me, of an upcharge of sending it to a customer, because I still have to go pick it up. So there's gas for me to go pick it up. So I'm still going to make some money off of it. But if I'm not doing the process, why do I want to make money from a process that I'm not actually doing? So I put more into like the setup of it, the design, but that's all in how you price. People have it twisted on how they price. They don't bother to break it apart based off of all of the process to complete it. They don't break it up based off of if they want to run sales. This is what I teach in Profit by the Numbers. But, y'all don't like my classes, so y'all don't sign up for my Profit by the Numbers, because I guess because I don't advertise that I'm a millionaire, so, or I make six figures. I don't talk about those numbers enough to where, I guess it's like, you think I'm just designing. But I have amazing Profit by the Numbers and business classes that, if you just follow what I say, you're going to make money, because I don't make customs and I don't advertise. Not one day do I advertise, yet I always have orders to do custom stuff. So, and I don't advertise at all, but I put in the work from before, and my designs speak for themselves. But those who have taken my Profit by the Numbers, they know the breakdown, and they have my pricing calculator if they were in my doctorate and my creative business program. But it's all about how you price it. Hello, Custom Reasons. How you doing, Hans? I just realized I had on two different shoes. It's a good thing I didn't leave the house. I just had on two different Crocs. All right, we are at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Ooh, the t-shirt plug. Hello, how are you? Oh, I think I rub some people the wrong way with that statement? No one is commenting now over here. Sorry, but not sorry. I'm very blunt and honest. I've signed up for the last two and will sign up for more. You're opening the bachelor's and master's program again. Myself, I have a Cricut and a Cameo too. I don't really use, but I've signed up for class with you and trying to learn it now. You don't really need the machine. My classes are more so for designing, and then the business side, I break down business. Like, it's so much more to it than just getting an LLC. There's business, and I try to also share like things that we go through, when it comes to business, like when it came to like the insurance and, knowing that there's a difference between liability insurance and property insurance. talking a bit about, taxes and what's deductible and what's not. Running business when knowing, like, okay, if you want to make shirts, do you want to cater to one demographic? Do you want to go business to business? And when I say business to business, I really mean business to business and not other crafters who are barely making money. So it's going to be far and few between. But when you go to established businesses, but you can't get to established businesses behind a computer screen, behind your phone screen. You have to go and invest in creating some type of documentation, a small pamphlet, a flyer, a business card, write up a professional email to where you will send this out to others and say, hey, these are the services that we offer. I saw that, you guys have this, this, and this, we like to give you a sample. Can we update, with, like, if you do vinyl, update your, the dates and times on there, like on their door, and that can lead to other jobs. But you have to run business. You have to speak as a business owner when you're talking to others. You got to get out there and get in front of people. You're not going to grow from just posting on social media. You're not going to grow from just posting ads or paying for ads. I don't care where those ads are. All ads do, like, for the most part, like, unless it's something that's really, really eye-catching and it is something that someone has already been on their mind. If you really think about it, how many just ads you saw and you really, really like jumped on it and you purchased it if it wasn't something that you were already thinking about? So now this ad comes up, and of course, most times in ads, they're going to probably advertise a discount, or let's say even if it's something free or whatever. Even when it's free, they're going to give you an offer at the end. They're not going to give you like the nitty, like the meat of it all. When it comes to the information, you're going to have to purchase their next course or their next level and the next level. People always say that. It's called a lead magnet. You get them in, a little morsel, a little sample, and then you offer them the main course. I don't have time for that. Look, okay, I'm going to give you the main course. I'm going to give you the information, and it's going to be affordable. You either want it or you don't. Like, for me, time is money, and I don't have time to go and do the lead magnet and then offer something else, because then that's something else I got to plan, and I ain't got time for that. When I put it out there, know that you're getting the best of me. You're getting the right information, however long it is. Don't want to see the longer videos, then you really don't want information, because those who are professionals at things, they go to school and they sit in classes for hours and hours and hours for years and years and years. That's how you grow. A 15-minute video, a quick ebook, not really going to help your growth in business and knowledge. I am who I am. You guys come to me for this knowledge because I invest the time to learn. And you can be at this level as well if you invest the time to just learn it. But yeah, having a problem tracing and coloring the dad with 3 children, different colors for Sublimation. I have no idea what image you're talking about. Like, that can literally be a number of things. I'm not sure if there's like a specific one. I'm not in a lot of groups because I guess I intimidate folk. So I either get kicked out, and then the few groups I was in, I just took a group break to just kind of decompress. So I'm not in a lot of groups. And if it's something like a major image that's going around in groups, I have no idea what you're talking about. I also don't follow trends. If you haven't noticed that about me, I really don't follow trends a lot. I like to be a trendsetter and not follow trends. So I'm not sure which image you're talking about. If you could post it in my group or send me an email or a message on the website with the image, and I could probably let you know if it's something that can even be traced to separate colors. A lot of people don't realize everything can't be traced. You can't change the colors by just doing a regular trace for everything. And that's where Essentials comes in. We have 2 days of tracing, and you'll fully understand what you can and cannot trace. I need help with business. Okay. When I open up the business challenge, be ready for that one. How to sub on glitter, and is the glitter different from the old regular HTV? No, that's exactly what you're submitting to. just regular old glitter HTV. And there's two different methods. You want to, of course, design everything in one program so that it's lined up. I've done that video, I don't know how many times. So there's a couple videos on Honestly Speaking on YouTube where you can find that. And you're just going to design it and design everything. If you're going to put an offset on it, design all of that in one. You're going to cut the vinyl. You're going to cut your sub print. You can either make what I call a glitter patch. You can put it on parchment paper. Like if it's something that's not loose, if it doesn't have loose letters and it's all one solid piece, peel it off, put it on parchment paper, sublimate the image on top because you need 365 degrees if you're using HS ink paper, or higher if you're using other papers. And if you're using a polyester shirt, it can bleed through. So you want to press that first, let it cool, and then put it on your shirt and take your temperature down to 325 and just press it for the 10 seconds. And then you're done, versus putting it on a shirt and you're pressing that for 30, 40 seconds. So you can do it that way, or you can put it directly on the shirt. But you want to design all of it in one program. For me, I use Silhouette Studio. How do you find a good company to outsource large orders? You call, you research, you do Google searches, you call them, you ask them about their services, or you read up on it, you order samples, you ask questions about, turnaround times, and that's going to help you determine if you want to go with them. There is no, easy way of doing it. It's actually talking to them. So in your business class, you talk about what's needed to start a business. So let's be very clear about what start a business is, right? That is a very gray area, because starting a business is so much more than, like I said, getting business credit or getting your LLC. Now, if you want to, now let's say you've been working and now you want to, it's not even saying legalize, because as long as you're paying taxes, like you're doing self-employment taxes, you're running a legal business. But now, are you ready to move into different spaces? Like if you want some of these major contracts, they're going to require you to have business articles and have a structure. So if you now want to set up a business structure, that is different. But as far as running a business, if you have customer service, you have a certain ordering process, if you know how to do what it is that you're trying to build a business on. A lot of people want to have a business, but they're still asking basic questions, or they're still making mistakes of not knowing, hey, you cannot sublimate to this. How can you start a business when you barely know the craft or the skills that you're wanting to monetize? So many people say, I teach you how to monetize your skills, but if you don't have the skills first, then what are we monetizing? So your basic, you want customers to pay you to learn, because obviously you don't know it. So your customers are paying you to learn. So for me, I say things a lot of times people don't want to hear. Before you start a business, you need to make sure that you know your business, like your skill, your craft inside and out. So that's where you first start at. And once you go from there, then it's like, okay, again, you don't have to have it where you have articles. What's your processes? Do you have an ordering process? You can go, and I ran a business you don't have to have a website. I ran a business without a website for years. And on the custom side, I technically still don't have a website, although I do send or invoice through there. I taught my creative business about using PayPal. We went through using Google Forms for order forms, where it's automated order forms. We've gone through using just all types of Google Docs to create different systems. You have to put systems in place. And then when it comes to business, and you really want to talk about business, then that's where we're really talking about profit and losses. That's where we're talking about, putting your big girl, big boy panties on or drawers on when it comes to the amount of money that comes out, having, systems that you have to pay for, having insurance, having, like whether it's like a CP, like if you have to pay for a CPA, knowing time frames. So having a book that you know, like, okay, for this, I have to refer back to that all the time. If it's something that's large, I have to really think about it. Just because it might take me 2 minutes to make a shirt, I have to think about being burnt out and all that stuff. And do I want to be sitting in front of here? Then it's like when you're talking about business, when you talk about growth, you're not going to be able to grow into this 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure company by yourself. So then at what point do you bring on employees? Do you know how to properly price for that? Or I mean, charge that you can pay for employees. Oh, do you know once you get employees and you actually have them on W-2 so they can actually get taxed and you can get the tax break? Do you know that you have to have workers' comp? So once you do that, then you have to pay $500 if you have one employee for all of these darn posters that you're supposed to put up in the workspace. Oh, and then there's another $250 you have to pay for OSHA training for 2 hours for all of your employees to be able to take. So this is the part of business. Business is so much more than just getting money for the things that you make. But people don't like to talk about that, and y'all don't want to hear about that. Y'all just want to know, how do I make 6 figures? How do I get customers? How do I make money off of reels? How do I get orders from Facebook? How do I, like, that's, but when you tell me about business. So when my high ticket stuff comes, it's for the people who want the information because they're ready to run a company, run a business, and not, they don't know about all these things when it comes to running business. But just to be able to monetize or start a website, to me, that's not running a, I mean, it's running a business, but at the same time, it's like you have to know your numbers for that part. If that makes sense. She says you stepping on all my toes. She said you stepping all my toes. I'm sorry. I found an Epson 7710. The gentleman that sold it to me told me he couldn't get full colors to come out correctly. I changed it to a sublimation printer. There was no cartridge in the printer. So just go to our website and purchase cartridges. I would, not sure if it sat for a really long time. So you may want to get like an empty set and make a cleaning solution, or you can buy cleaning solution and put it in there if you don't want to make it yourself and push like the cleaning solution through. Watch my push air video. It's the same thing. But the first thing is just putting cartridges in it. And if it sat where there were no cartridges in it at all, it probably really dried out those print heads. It's not to say that it doesn't work. I just had someone, I think it's Miss Sandra, was it her? She got the printer for like $10, I think, or something like that. And they said it wasn't going to work. So now she has like a perfectly working printer because she followed my steps for push air and filling and priming. So now she has a perfectly working printer. So it may not all be lost. Like those printers are really resilient. She says, you're correct. You don't hear that much. And she says, amen. What's the best sub t-shirts? You got to find out what's best for you. I know what's best for me. And all the ones that I've tried would be Sports Tech and Team 365. But I don't look for these cotton-like shirts. Some people want those. I don't look for super thick shirts. Super thick shirts mean super deep lines. So I don't look for those. I have tested a number of shirts. I go on to like Jiffy and I did a deep dive and I probably spent maybe $300 getting like different types of shirts, different long sleeves, different hoodies, different hats, different tank tops, polo shirts. I purchased a bunch of samples from them to get a feel of them. I like Ultra Club, love the way that they come out, but their shirts run really, really big and they are kind of super shiny. I can't stand Gildan. Some people live by Gildan. I think they're too thin. My sister likes the Yazback ones, the one that Florida Flex sells. That's not really my thing. I don't like those little blue squiggly lines. Like, I just can't. I don't like Cricut shirts. So everyone's going to have a different preference, but I have my preference because I tested out a bunch of shirts. Ultra Club, A4, Hanes, Team 365, Sports Tech, Vapor, Jersey, Who else did we try? Oh God, Granger. Is that called Grainer? Grind something like that? Because we got that one from Epic Sport, but then we found them on there. I forget the one I have for the kids. I forget the name of that. Is it Rabbit or something? I don't know. Is it Giraffe, Rabbit, somebody? So that's 9 right there. And then I got polo shirts. I got colored polyester shirts. I got polo shirts, not hoodies, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts like that. Like I just ordered a bunch of stuff and then put random designs on them, or I'll use them for just test print shirts. And that's really how I just Port and Company. So that's now 9. So I know I have Port and Company shirts. I've tried Cricut shirts. I tried the Yaz bag. So now I'm up to 11 shirts. Yeah. I tried out a bunch of shirts, a whole bunch of shirts. I'm still working on fixing my printer, and you are correct on the business aspect. Yeah, I mean, even for and there's so many facets to business. So when people say there are some things that are common across the board, no matter what business. But then I always have to ask people, okay, what is the business that you're wanting to start? Because for something that's like a customs business and you're making shirts and things like that, I think the one thing that will help a lot of people who want to create custom items is stop creating custom items. And what I mean by that is you don't have to, especially if you're not able to do it in a timely manner, or if you don't have a dedicated department, like graphic designing department, that's like you're going to be the one that puts it all together, or you're getting the clients in, you're going to be the one to maybe press it. But when you have to be everything for your business, if you're making custom items for every single person, it's going to be really hard to keep up. So when I say stop making customs, what I mean by that is if you made a shirt, it was an LOL and a number 8, and it had their name on it. And someone says, I want that shirt. How much is that shirt? They are wanting that shirt. They don't want you to go and make it a little bit different and make it custom. We go into stores every single day and buy things that hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and millions of people have the exact same thing. However, in creating a chip bag, in creating a shirt, in creating a tumbler, in creating a mouse pad, in creating a keychain, in creating an obituary, we want to create a new version for people every time. So we're giving them rare, one of a kind at mass production, if not sometimes less than mass production prices. That makes no sense. So the important part of business is learning how to conduct business. You don't have to give someone custom. Because you say you are a custom business, the fact that they cannot go into the store and purchase this tumbler just like this, it's not mass produced by a machine, it's still custom, but you can have this design and market this one. This is going to be great for those who love colors. You're addicted to colors, I got the right tumbler for you. Like being able to go, and when it comes to custom, you can make it ready to order compared to producing a whole bunch of this one tumbler and hoping that it sells. So the custom part comes in the fact that you can print it or press it on demand. That's the part that we should focus on. And that's kind of across the board. Like there's certain, like I said, it's across the board for business and just how you think. But then it's like, if you are someone that makes candles, you're going to mass produce those. If you make soaps, you're mass producing a certain batch and you're promoting those. Okay, well, how do you promote? What do you need when you are someone that makes soaps compared to someone that makes shirts and tumblers and things? What is your overhead for this? Is this something that can completely be done in a very small space? Whereas if you want to run a business, it's really hard to run a business if you're wanting. I'm going to put it this way. Some people monetize it and they run a business to meet certain goals. Well, I'm going to sell this so that I can buy my kids band package, cheer package, football package. This is to supplement my regular income. So they may not be looking to make a lot of money. As long as they can meet that goal, hey, the way they operate business is going to be different from someone. This is my bread and butter. This is my bread and butter. I come on every day to educate people. I don't, people say, oh, how can you be on so long? I can be online for 3 hours. I'm not telling y'all to watch me for 3 hours. Y'all need to go do some work. I mean, a lot of times it's the same questions. Come on, ask your question and maybe just go. Some people say, hey, I might miss a good gem or two. Then that's when you need to join my classes, when you can have all of that and it's a little bit more structured. But this is my job. I come on and, I watch my sales go up when I'm online. When I give out information, I watch people signing up for my classes. When they find out the benefits of our paper and our ink, they go and they sign up. They go and they purchase it. When they see, okay, damn, she can help me on the product side and help me have the best. I know, listen to her. She's not going to provide nothing that's junk. So if it's on her website, it's going to be the best of the best. I want to shop with her. I want to take her classes because she's breaking it down. This is business for me. I plan out in the day for these videos. Some people say, oh, Shakia, you're on there too long. That's nice, but it's still how I choose to run business because it does help my business. So is that what you're going to do? Are you going to be online promoting your business every single day for hours and hours? And whether it's one person watching or 300 people watching, are you going to still talk about your business? Like, this is what I do. So business looks different for everyone. Hello, honey. How are you? Let's see. I just ordered a new ink cartridge. Should I test it with that one? Sorry, I didn't hear all your explanation. My husband decided he had something to tell me when you were talking. So yes, if you have new ink cartridges, you're going to just put it in there. Make sure that I'm not sure where you purchased them from. If you purchased them from us, make sure that you fill and prime them. If it has a circle in the middle, put them in there. Make sure there's no vent hole, like the plugs are out of the vent hole. Run a print head cleaning. Maybe even push the ink through it and go from there and see what's the state of the printer. Yes, I'm mainly doing customs, but here and there. So the first thing is, you have to identify how do you really want to grow? And even when you make that decision, it's not going to be instantaneous. A lot of people don't want to work through the process. There's going to be we've had some slow days. There's going to be some slow days. There's going to be some amazing days. There's going to be some things that you have to rethink, revamp. I've changed my processes and my setups for classes. I've changed how we do, like with our products or like flows and stuff for emails, how I market online. I've changed all of those things over time. And in business, as society changes, as trends change, as just, when we were in a recession, you're probably not going to have people that just has disposable income. So those things will change and adjust. What do you have that can supplement that? That's when people start creating these ebooks or creating courses or having digital files. This is one of the reasons why I teach so much about design, because if it took you an hour, minimum wage, let's say, even if it took you if it was $15 an hour, right? If it took you an hour to create it, so you're wanting to make $15 for that hour, all you got to do is sell that design to 15 people. Well, if you're on Etsy, let's say 20 people, you don't have to go and have it where it is 1,000 sales, 1,000,000 sales on this product. You can sell it to 15, 20 people for $1, and you've made money for that time frame that you took to design it. This is why I push learning to design so much. Don't underestimate learning to create your own things. People like that design that I did yesterday, that little key that I showed you guys how to create yourself. But there are some who don't watch my videos. There's some that's not going to know how to create that. There's going to be some, until they learn how to create their own, they're going to go to the Etsy's. They're going to go to the Creative Fabricas. You'll know The people on Creative Fabrica, that's not Creative Fabrica. Those are designers. You can be a designer on Creative Fabrica. You can be a designer for designbundles.net. You can be a designer and have your stuff on the Silhouette store, in the Cricut Design store. Ask Miss Bose, was it Bozeman? Coco Twins. She has designs that are in the Cricut Design, however you say it, like whatever their little thing is. That can be any of you if you learn to create effective and amazing designs. This is why I push designing so much. So if your customs aren't working, but you're still working on designs, I work on a design, it makes me money, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on my website for y'all to buy it afterwards. Yes, it works amazing like that. I appreciate you sharing your process and your standards with us. This is changing the way I think about business. Thank you for your guidance. You are very welcome. She says, Amy, I can't with the customs. Catch this repeat. I know that's right. Thanks. I've been watching your YouTube videos and I love it. I'm a Silhouette 2 owner. I love my 2. I want at least 2 more 2s. What's the best way to save a JPEG in Silhouette and print in Cricut to print and cut? When I take it to Cricut, part of the white is missing. It really depends on the image that you set up. So if you save it as a JPEG, then you have to go in and like remove all that stuff. It'll be better for you to save it as a PNG. Now, let's say if you have something and you put like fades and stuff on it and you saved it as only if you save it as a PNG, it'll probably have voids. But if you save it as a JPEG, it should be exactly as you have it. If you're talking about white around the edges, like it's too big, then you need to make your design page the size of the actual image and then save it so that you don't have all the extra white around it. Only how I'm leaving in the middle of the live. I'm leaving the live is I'm at work and I have to go to a meeting. I'm not missing out. The only way I'm leaving in the middle of a live. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Your picture a little I'm gonna read it from over here. Baby, that's I ain't trying to get demonetized. I mean, I know he covered up and everything, but I hope you're doing well. Oh, let me take this off. Thank you for your time and knowledge. Aside from tearing the edges of sublimation paper and adjusting the pressure of the heat press, what successful techniques do you use to avoid these unsightly indentation lines in your t-shirts when you press them? There is no way to really avoid them. I press them out using a piece of paper on top. So I use either butcher paper or I have an old roll that's horrible sublimation paper. I now use that, but I put a piece of paper over it and I adjust my pressure to where it's heavy pressure and I press it and it knocks the lines out. So that's how I do that. There's no way to avoid the indentation. No way to avoid that. Well, I'm not going to say that. If you want to, you can, and tearing the edges, that doesn't work. All you end up with is an indentation of squiggly lines. It don't change nothing. Because it's a synthetic fiber, it's like memory foam, but it stays. It doesn't like revert back. It stays. So when you're pressing that on there, anything that's not smooth is going to definitely show on it. So you're going, so like I said, I do that. And then if you want, I did one where I created like a video where I created pressing pillows that were different sizes, especially like if you're using like an easy press. So what you do is put the you have to make it where your design is like in the middle of your paper. So you still have edge, like you still have white space around it. Don't cut it where you're cutting all close to it. You got to leave it as a regular full page. Just cut off the ends a little bit just in case there's ink on it. But you put a pressing pillow. Your pressing pillow has to be bigger than your design, but smaller than your paper, so that it raises just that middle part up. And then as you press it, the edges of the paper doesn't touch your shirt. But if you're doing a bunch of them, that can be very annoying. If you watch when I did, I'm not sure if it was when I did the shirts for my grandma or for someone else, I pressed all of the shirts. And then at the end, I went back, turned the pressure up, and I pressed all the lines out of the shirts. So that's what I do. And while we're waiting for if anyone else has any questions, don't forget to visit our website, shop.hsinc. Thank you to everyone that's on the site now. See a couple of, and that's the one thing I love about Shopify is you can see it in real time. I love that. So thank you for everyone who's there and you have items in your cart and you're about to check out. Visit the website, shop.hsinc365.com. You're not going to find a better sublimation paper than ours. I'm a little biased, but it's true. You get amazing results with it. Our ink, 140 milliliter bottles, our black ink. This is the black. This is not, and it's not that doo-doo brown. Now I love that song. Now I'm from Miami. That's my type of music. But when it comes to your ink, we don't want doo-doo brown. We want nice, good black ink. So if you don't have a business, then you said you can self-report what you sell. So it's still a business. When you're self-employed, it's still a business. So there are taxes where you go and you do your Schedule C. And that is for someone that is self-employed. And because you're not paying out you pay basically your self-employment tax, which is really the federal, not the federal, like your Social Security and like all of that stuff. Your self-employment tax is really that, because you're not paying that. You have a W-2, your employer is paying out the federal taxes, they're paying out for Social Security and all those things. Well, when you're self-employed, they take that money first. So that's gonna kind of be on there. And then as far as your debt that you owe the government for federal taxes, because that's how our company operates. Our company moves money through taxes. So when we need more money, we tax people more. That's just how this country works. So they're going to get their money up front. Okay. The fact that, when it comes to retirement and all of that, it's not necessarily coming from the employer. It's coming from the government. You get that? When I did my grandmother's retirement, all her stuff, it came from the state of Florida. It didn't come from Jackson Memorial Hospital. So because they have to have that money that's for retirement, somebody got to put in the money for it. So when you are working, and just doing self-employment, it doesn't mean that it's going to help you get a better return. Because if you weren't paying out taxes, there's no way to avoid it. You're either going to pay out taxes in quarterly or monthly, depending on your state, so that come the end of the year, you don't have as high of a tax bill, or you're going to pay it all at the end. There's some people who rather keep more money in their pockets throughout the year from selling. So of course they're going to wait. And let's say they have young kids. Well, you get all these different credits for having kids. If you have a home and you can itemize. So if you worked a regular job, you may have gotten back a $10,000 return. Well, now you go in and you put in your business stuff. That $10,000 return might end up going down to $6,000, where you're now only going to get $4,000, but you didn't have to worry about paying out of pocket for those taxes. It basically took it from the return. So it's not money that you really missed. Now, if you don't have deductions and you don't have things that, you were going to get a return, and then now once you put all your business stuff in, it can take away from the amount of return that's owed to you, you end up owing money. But yes, you can definitely file a Schedule C for all of your business stuff. And that's how you stay legal, meaning you're still paying the government money. Having an LLC doesn't make you legal. It just makes when you have a business structure. This is random, but do you think I should try to press the tote bags with my Easy Press? No, for those screen print ones, you want to really have even pressure on that. So heat presses are going to be the better option, unless you're really going to try to really, really apply pressure to it, but they are pressure release. So you really, really need that pressure. but you can always try it, especially if you have extras. P.S. I want to take all of your classes. I love your teaching style. Thanks for everything. Thank you for wanting. That's why I try and keep. I'd rather see you guys come back for more than just offer like and only see you one time because I offered a class or a course that was $1,000 or $2,000. I'd rather see you guys keep coming back. But don't take too many of them. You got to remember, this is my job. I can literally teach all day long, every single day. So if you end up taking all of my classes, that doesn't leave you time for you to work on your business. So pace yourself. I try to repeat classes and they'll come back around. So try to only take the classes that really pertain to you. That's one of the reasons why I don't do kind of like this mass one. Although I will say this. So I do plan to, by the suggestion of someone, something that I thought I would never do, but in business, sometimes you have to listen to others and at least try what they say. And I'm like, if I'm going to be the one to say, okay, and I'm talking to my students and, to help others. And I'm saying, okay, I see this, I identify this. If you're wanting to get to this level, because I've been at that level, do this. So if I want to be able to grow and elevate, I have to listen to some of the things that people tell me, even though I have a control issue. So I'm not sure if you guys saw my post. And I was like, I'm going to end up making some major changes, some shakeups. So that's going to happen. I suppose I already have, because we now are 4 days away from the end of the year, from the end of the month, and it's supposed to start August 1st. So I want to kind of try this whole thing out to see how it works with kind of having a mishmash of things. I ain't too happy about it, but I'm going to do it, It's either going to show me that I ain't always right, which, that's very hard for me to believe that I'm not always right. No. But, sometimes it's best to be, to have some shakeup so you don't get stuck in your ways and be detrimental to yourself and your business. So I'm going to try this. And it's either going to be, it'll be, regardless of what, it'll be a learning experience to where I can go and say, this works, this might work. And it may have worked for somebody else, but for certain businesses, it may not work. And being able to share that experience of, does this work? And I can't help others if I don't know multiple ways of like doing things. So I want to try this method out and see if it works. Just know that I'm so not used to doing things via Facebook groups, and this involves me to, okay, why you keep asking that? Yes, I am. I'm on Facebook and YouTube, but that's like the second or third time you've asked that. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I don't operate from Facebook groups. It's just not me, but I'm going to try it out. It's going to be interesting to where, like, there's, okay, so no, I just didn't know, because sometimes you get people on here, and I hope you didn't take offense to that, but I wasn't sure because I answered it before. And sometimes you get, on TikTok, you get people on here who just come on to like troll. And I wasn't sure because it came up here a couple times. But yes, I am on YouTube. If you click the link in the bio, it drops down, and I have 3 YouTube channels, and it shows you all the different places you can follow me on. So if you want to watch the playback of this, it is being streamed to YouTube and Facebook right now. So it's saved on both places. And it's not going to be a permanent thing. It's something that I'm just going to try out, and it'll probably be, and it's not going to be like where I'm teaching it like something like every single day, but this whole group situation. People tell me, don't knock it till you try it. And I'm like, technically I have groups. And it's like, no, Shakia, your groups are like support for your other programs, but make it, it's just, I'm not too excited about it, but I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. Yes, but I'm always, YouTube and Facebook are always going to be first. Like I'm always, if you see me live here, I'm probably live over there as well. And that's why I'm not looking at y'all directly. So that also is the indicator that I'm on YouTube, is because I know I'm gonna stay here because y'all weren't talking. Y'all didn't ask questions over here. I know, right? It gives me hives thinking about it. All right, but I've been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Questions have slowed down, and don't want to overstay my welcome, just pointless at that point. And then of course, it's not always a good thing. It's my job and I prefer to stay on to provide great information. Um, but it can hurt your algorithm if people are starting to fall off versus staying on. You want to be able to just get off, even like on TikTok, people will reset their live, and then go off and come back on. But that's not saved. So here I'm like, okay, well, somebody can go back and watch the playback. So it's a good thing and a bad thing to be on live for a long time. If your numbers start to drop significantly, it's best to just get off, because you'll hurt your algorithm versus helping it, because it's showing that people are falling off, and it picks up on that. And then so now I'm technically messing up two algorithms, Facebook and YouTube, for retention. So it's like, it's best to get off if you have to like reset. But then when you reset, they don't really, if you go back to back, they don't really put out the notification. So it's like, you really got to learn a lot about Facebook and YouTube and how it works if you want to live and work in this space. But yeah, and that's the other thing too, limiting access and these types of discussions, everyone always says, and like those who are, in a better position, I guess you can say financial wise, because I've gone toe to toe with them and I've told them some things and I'm like, you want to tell me some stuff, but it's the financial part of it. And because I have lofty dreams and aspirations, I didn't hit mega millions. And if I want this full on school, if I want this storefront, if I want growth, if I want to be able to have franchises of HS Inc. one day, I got to make certain moves. And it's a hard pill to swallow because I so love what I do. And I think it's going to be where I have, the same way I tell you guys, when you make a change, you're going to have to be okay with that adjustment period as you set those boundaries and people become aware of like how they have to interact with you. I know that it's going to affect our numbers because people are so used to me getting on here and giving to them freely. And so when I put a price tag to it, there's going to be some, it's like, oh, now everybody want to charge. Yeah, you're damn right. Like, I'm dope at what I do and I deserve to be compensated for it because this is what I chose my job to be. But I know that it might be slow. I pray that it's not and people are welcoming to it, but I know that I'm going to have to limit the free content. I even ended my subscription. So if you were someone that was subscribed to my YouTube channel, like you joined it, I ended that membership. I don't have the time to dedicate to give you guys exclusive stuff on there. For me, YouTube and Facebook is free. I don't want to, I get money on the back end from like advertising. But as far as like having the membership or trying to make dedicated things for the members, I just couldn't keep up with it because I don't see YouTube and Facebook as being a part of like paid, like where some of these people's paying for information. Although it's not going to be quite like other people's groups. I still got to do me, but I'm going to try that out. But I wasn't putting enough into the membership one. So I ended that one. Like I literally walked away from money because I couldn't give it my all. And if I can't give this new one my all, I'm going to end up scrapping that one too. That's why this is going to be a tester for it. But I desire to teach. Like this is what I want to do. It is my passion to be able to teach and help others. But if I keep giving away freely, I'm never going to get to where I know I truly need to be, to have a full-on studio where I can record and do demos and not be stuck. Like right now, this room needs to be cleaned. If y'all saw what was over there, it's a hotmess.com, not having workspace to like really work in. I deserve to be there and to have that space. So I have to make some changes. That's the hard part about business, is the changes you have to make and being okay with once you make the change, everyone's not going to be aboard with the change. And It will affect you for a little bit, but knowing there's like light at the end of the tunnel, it's a very bad cliche, but you know, you have to hold fast to that. And so that's what I'm going to do as of August 1st. But Jesus, well, not, I mean, yeah, somewhat, because y'all know August is HS Ink month. It was called Silaholics Anonymous month last year, but we are officially HS Ink 365 LLC. And Silaholics Anonymous is just it's under the umbrella of the main company, but it's HS Ink month. And then the 28th is HS Ink Day. I will tell you guys some of the giveaways. I have a cameo for, I have a light. So my giveaways this year are going to be to help those who want to do business, like who want to do this for business. So there's going to be like some, the people always ask about mentorships. So I've been kind of hush about it, but I'm going to have a few slots for full on mentorships that I'm basically going to give away. I'm not charging for them. I have to know what that looks like. Do I know that I have a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge and it can help businesses, but I won't know how to price it. I won't truly know the value and how to approach it until I do it. And whenever I do something, I end up doing it for free. So I'm going to give away a couple slots for like full on mentorships with me. We're giving away a cameo for, I have the We Are Memory Keepers light box. We have scales and tag guns, a Shopify setup, of course, products, but it's like a lot of business related stuff that we're going to give away. We're going to pay for someone who's at that point and or you don't have to use it then, but like once you are ready to. I don't want anyone who wins it to where we will pay for your first year of your LLC. I don't want you to feel like you have to rush into it if you win. We'll pay for that, you know, whenever. Just don't rush it just because you want it, because then you have to keep up with that every single year. You're not at that point. I don't want to put you in a position that you're not ready for in business. But we have a lot of business related giveaways for HS Ink month. And the raffle, as of August 1st, you'll be able to start buying the raffle tickets, because you all know, like, you buy the raffle tickets, which a raffle ticket really is a gift card so that you can come back to the website and be able to purchase products and stuff like that. As of August 1st, the best thing to do is to purchase a gift card. And then, like, let's say you want paper, enter the giveaway, purchase the gift card, use the gift card to purchase your paper. That way you're entered in the giveaway. But as of August 1st, the gift cards will be up there because it'll be HS Ink month. And we do a small giveaway every Friday. And then we do like the big one on the 28th. And we also have a Zoom party and we play bingo. So I can't wait for that for this month. So, the classes that are technically over, can we still purchase to watch the replays? Yes. Every last one of my classes comes with playbacks. Every last one of my classes. And it's even better because you can pause it, start, stop, you know, write notes, like, you know, listen, take notes, versus like when I'm live, you know, I can't really stop for too long. So you can take notes and stuff like that. I recommend having a notebook. I give out like a lot of information. You know, whatever you do, we'll support. I mean, I'm not sure who that is. I think that's probably, it's either Regina or Miss Wood, because for some reason y'all just don't come up. And I know some of you guys will truly support, but not everybody, you know. If it doesn't work, you tried, but most likely it will work. You have the Midas touch. Oh, thank you. She says that's for me, mentorship. Hello. And if under my mentorship, you got to be ready for some tough love. You got to be ready for the kid gloves to come off. And for me to be very real with you, you have to be the same way. And that's the only reason why I am doing this on the 1st, is if I'm going to like, and I'm truly a person of, if I'm going to teach it to you, it's something that I have been through myself. So I can't go and say, I'm going to give you tough love. And if I'm telling you to do something, you may look at it and be like, man, that's going to hurt me. I'm not going to make money. How am I going to do this? How can I advise you on that if I'm not willing to take that same risk. So yeah, that's another reason why, because of the mentorships, I have to practice what I preach. So, all right, let me hop off here. We've been here 2.5 hours. It's 1 o'clock. I want an egg roll. So I'm going to go get me some egg. I'm going to go get me a seafood egg roll. And I shall talk to you guys later. Visit the website shop.hsink365.com. The links are in the description of this video. I believe someone also wrote it in the comments. If you're on Facebook, if you can write it in the comments before we get off, shop.hsink365.com. That way they can click on that. Essentials of Silhouette Studio, guys. I cannot stress how important that training is. Don't sleep on it. I'm telling you, before you invest in anything else, before you buy another blank, another pack of paper, ink, any of that, I'm telling you, if you want to improve your skills, which is the majority of what a custom creator, if you have a custom creations business, a creative business, the creative part is the most important part. And you got to learn somewhere. I personally teach from Silhouette Studio. Now, if you're looking to learn Photoshop and all of that, I do have an essentials to Photoshop, but I don't teach Photoshop like in detail like that. That's just not my zhuzh. You know, I use it for thumbnails, but I don't use it for creating designs. But that's a great place to start. Don't sleep on it. It's 8365. And I promise you, once you get in there and you learn stuff, you can go like, I have been struggling all this time for no reason. The answers were literally right here. I listened to her talk about this every single time she goes live. And I'm like, oh no, I can figure it out from Facebook. I can figure it out from YouTube. I can figure it out myself. Oh, I'm creative. I'm smart. I'm going to figure it out. And then you finally get this and you're going to kick yourself. And like, I sat here and struggled for weeks, for months. For what reason? When literally every answer you can think of is in that training. Like no bull crap. Let me do something real quick. I'm going to put that one on. I'm going to type it. I can't do it for TikTok, but I can do it for everybody else. So I can copy that direct link and put it in the chat. But now for YouTubers, you'll have to come back for it to be in the comment section, because once the live is over with, I don't think you're going to be able to click on it. So there you go. All right. Oh, not my bad. I had y'all on here through the whole design bundles. I should have at least mentioned it. My bad, y'all. Y'all know I even think about it because I don't do those reviews anymore. My bad. I forgot all about it. And that kind of sucks because I was actually going to buy some stuff and I just talked all the way through it. And that's why I have to set a timer. I was supposed to be off because there were some things that I wanted and now I don't have them, but I'm not worried about it. It's just $6 that I get to keep for myself. All right, y'all. I am out of here. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.